right, welcome back to another edition of Knicks Morning Coffee. I'm Mr. King, and that's my partner, Joe Cool. All right, now today we're on our new day now, which is Saturday morning. You can catch us. Fridays was good, but we're going to try this to see what happens. So we got a little bit to get to today. So far as last night, Joey, what we're going to do first is we're going to work backwards. Because we had last night's game, we had the Boston game, and we started, there's some things in that preseason game that we need to touch on real quick. So, but I mean, right now we look good though.
Yes.
You know.
I was happy.
Yeah.
They got my emotions going up and down, but we still happy.
Look, I look at the blowout against the Magic. I mean, we had 7 players in double figures. Mm-hmm. And that really, and I was thinking about that too early in the week, that could be the norm. Mm-hmm. I mean, maybe even 8 or so, because you look at, okay, Randall typically will get you 25 to 35. I'm really sure, in a sense, we're going to get 20 from Fournier and Burke off the bench, right? And then RJ is capable, of going off for more. We know that. When healthy, Mitch rolling to the basket.
Probably going to get us like 15.
He's good for the 10, but anything over 10. Rose, same thing. He can give you 10 on a regular night, and he can give you 20 or something when he's rolling. IQ, same thing. He can give you 10 to 20, but we'll settle for the 10 in senses. And then, of course, Kemba Walker, he can give you 10, but then he'll have those nights where he can go off for more. And then, of course, again, with RJ, we know RJ is capable of, going off for, between 20 and 30 himself.
Yeah.
But that kind of cohesion with the Knicks, that's the thing that's going to carry us, is having multiple guys be a part of this thing.
Yeah, the only thing we didn't figure out is, of course, Mitch is going to get his points. I would like to see him get more, but I think his only problem is we still not giving him the ball for a scoring situation.
Well, that did happen in the Boston game when they threw it down. They were smart on him, but he couldn't gather himself. But the beauty about that part with Mitch is that we do have now more scoring. Remember how in the past we would just like throw the ball down to Mitch, but at least while they get it together, we have more scoring.
And I don't know if we're going to touch on this, but now we can see how valuable Mitch is. We're not giving up second chances like that, and we're getting more second chances with Mitch.
Yeah. I mean, that's his role. That been his role. And then even as far as last night, with sealing the game early. I mean, anytime we get a chance to put the game away, you got to put the game away. We was up 30, then they closed it down into like 16. But I like the way they fought back, and then I like the way that it was also Randall stopping the bleeding after the timeout, coming down with the 3 quick buckets, then all of a sudden the league get pushed back up. See, that's also a sign of a good team. I mean, any team in the third quarter up by 30-something is going to be a letdown. But the good thing is that Tibbs is not going to let the bleeding last way too long. So that was just, you were saying earlier, you don't want to see a blowout every night. Yeah, and you don't want to see a double overtime every night either.
It gets boring when the Knicks is blowing you out and we're not at home. At least at the Garden, we're going crazy.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You can hear the commotion on the screen. Right? And if you're there, you actually hear the commotion. But when we're blowing the team out at their arena, it's dead in there. It was dead in Magic. So you couldn't hear nothing.
See, I didn't see the start of the game, which I'm going to look at the start of the game today.
But yeah, that was fun. But
so
then once you get to the second quarter, we're blowing them out.
But I would like to have seen how we got that, like where we were on the court. What kind of ball movement was it?
Yeah, we're playing good basketball. We're playing the same basketball, even better than we was last year. And like I said, Mitch, you can tell the big difference that he plays a role on the court. So,
yeah. All right, so
that's really what it was. We're not giving them second chances, so they're stopping that. They're not just running in the paint on us like that.
Yeah.
And
that's what we need.
He's getting second chances, so that's the kind of stuff we need. All right, so far as the Boston game, we just go over a couple players in the Boston game because that double overtime was a good game. I mean, for the way that it happened, because, I mean, you didn't want to give up that lead. You could try to win in regulation, but at the same time, we had to fight back to get the lead. Yeah.
so that could kind of balance that part out. But I like the way the Knicks withstood that, because in the past we lose that game. Yeah, we lose that game probably in the regulation.
We wouldn't have no Fournier.
Yeah.
To be that guy. Who is this guy? Like, he didn't been doing that to us. We'd have been like, yo, who's Fournier? Oh, Fournier always doing stuff like that.
Yeah, because some things I took away from that game is one, Randall this season he game ready.
Yeah.
Like Randall's ready to ball. You can see that from all the games leading up, especially like maybe the first preseason game or so. He wasn't, because you got to fill out your new teammates. But Randall's ready to ball. So we need 20 to be a successful season. To me, we need 20 from Fournier and we need 20 from Burt on a consistent basis. Because I felt one of our needs was going into the summer was that we needed a point guard, which we got in Walker. We needed 20 points in the starting lineup if RJ was to stay in the starting lineup. So we got that in Fournier, and then we need 20 points off the bench. So we got that in Burt. So I look at the Boston game. Burke only had about 5, 6, 7 points, but Fournier had 32. So that kind of, because you kind of balances that out, because there's going to be days where somebody's going to go off for more, but that's what's going to make us a complete team. And then Burke can't be missing them wide open jumpers neither. Yeah, like in the Boston game at crucial times. Now we know he's going to be a rhythm shooter, and he gonna come through for us. But it's just that we got so many guys on the bench capable of hitting that shot. I.e. Grimes. He seems that playing with the right people,
he coming on the Boston game?
He can fill it up. That was in the preseason game.
Cause I know the preseason game, he was actually in there.
He was in there. Yeah, he was in there with primetime plays.
Yeah. Because I was happy to see that. Cause that's why I'm not worried. Because you saying Burt and Fournier need to drop 20. To me, not necessarily. I need one of them to drop 20, and everybody else to play their game. At least one of them to drop 20. Everybody, because
only reason why I say
that's more realistic, because that was always
no. Actually, it's not, because you got a lot of teams where 3 guys get 20 and still lose. But that's what
I'm saying.
But that's the key of what I was saying earlier. When you get those guys getting 20. Now one may go off for 25, 30. Then that means the other one can have 15, 16. But all those other guys hovering around 10. That's where we can end up with 7, 8 guys in double figures on a regular basis, and it's not even a big deal. And that also means your assists go up. So that's why I say 20, because even on an off night, Randall wasn't off last night, but by Randall standards, one could say he only had 21. But Randall played a good, complete game because of the other scores that we got. But the ceiling on your guys, and every team don't got a big 3, and we one of them. But what every team got is a pecking order of 3. And our pecking order of 3, to me, that has to be what it is. Now, some may put RJ in that pecking order, but I tend to go that 20 off the bench.
Yeah, but I also
is more valuable to us right now.
But I also see realistically, and I'm gonna say it now, I can see Randall, Fournier, Kemba, and D Rose, 2 out of the 4 going for 30 at the same time. I can see that.
I don't see that.
I can see Randall dropping 30, Fournier dropping 30, or Randall dropping 30, Kemba dropping 30, and then somebody ends up.
Kemba right now ain't dropping 30.
I'm sorry, but what I'm saying, I think Kemba just feeling it out. I don't think he. I think he knows he doesn't have to go. I
don't see 30 in him.
If he's cooking like Fournier, let's go back to the Boston game. Fournier wasn't cooking until when it got to the end. It was like, he was
missing. Well, that's what the thing is. Fournier, he was missing, because remember I had put on the Instagram earlier, Fournier is our key with his shooting, and he was missing the shots he was missing. They came on later,
I didn't look
and
at
it transpired over the first game. Randall dropped 30 something. Was it 40 or 30?
End up dropping
32.
All right,
in the Boston game.
Randall dropped 40. He dropped 30, and then what was the who? Anybody dropped like 20?
Nobody else was really that close right there. Right? I think RJ dropped 18 to 20. Yeah.
So that's
that came on right. That came on late.
What happened if it wasn't Fournier that dropped to 30, and it was D Rose. That's what I'm saying. We got 4.
Yeah, but it's going to be but see, I think it's
a 30.
Yeah, we do,
piece.
but I think it's going to be Burt because one thing I don't see for us, I can see 3 people averaging 20. I don't see 3 people in the starting lineup averaging 20.
Yeah,
that's why I say Burt. That's why I say Burt, and I believe it to be Burt also more than Rose. Even though when Rose get it going, we know we can pencil him in for 15 to 20 when he got it going. But we also know that if Rose got it going, that means Walker is sitting.
Well, remember,
so they'll never get big numbers together.
Well, remember, Burt was getting those big scoring nights because there was a lot of people with injuries. There's not a lot of people with injuries. And what I noticed is D Rose is hitting his open shots. D Rose is putting the pressure on. Kemba not so much. Fournier putting that pressure on.
Yeah.
Fournier is not gonna let it go back. I can see the guys already. He's asking for the ball.
Well, he's searching and he's searching and he's searching for his shot.
Randall's doing what Randall does, right? So that's why I named those 4 people. But those are the 4 people that we are counting on. All right, D Rose, you got to give me something. All right,
and he's gonna, and he's going to.
Then that next tier of all right, RJ, quickly, Burke. Then I'm thinking about all right, what are they gonna do off the ball in them situations?
Well, that's what.
If we gotta rely on RJ, then they'd be in trouble.
No, because RJ he's a hammer. But RJ showed too in that Boston game, which stuff we knew about him all along. RJ got to be in the open court. That's where he's unstoppable.
Yeah.
Because we got to rely on his jumper. See, if we could rely on his open court play and downhill play, and the jumper be extra, then he becomes the complete player.
Yeah.
But we're relying on the jumper first, and then we're just running when we sprinkle it in there. We have to get out for RJ. We have to get out and run. And the same thing in the way for Obi to a degree.
Oh, yeah. I don't
get them guys out on the wing because Obi is Superman in the making.
Yeah.
His time is coming. Rather Randall has a great season or not.
Yeah.
And Obi's just not going to be denied because Obi's finding so many ways to be out there on the floor.
And this don't seem like a movie to you? We all asked throughout the whole last year summertime. We was like, is Randall ever gonna play with Obi? Are you gonna let one go? We got our answer.
Yeah, and I didn't think they would let them go. Yeah, and they need to play together.
And at first in Boston, I'm like, oh, why are they doing that? But I realized Boston don't really got no centers, so you can't do it.
Yeah, but see, that's the thing. If you're gonna go small like that on a regular, and they won't because you'll have Mitch and you'll have.
I don't like how
you didn't have Todd, you didn't have Nerlens.
Yeah, I don't like how.
But if you're gonna do it, you have to run. You can't play them together and play half court.
Yeah.
If they're playing center and power forward. But one thing I did like last week when they was showing the Knicks players and their positions, we had multiple guys penciled in at 2 positions. And I was happy to see Obi penciled in as small forward, power forward.
Yeah. Because
sometimes that's what it's going to take to have him and Randall on the floor together. It might still have to be with another center sometime. Because we have guys that they can both play out of the perimeter and they can both post you a little bit. You can afford to play them together with another center, especially if it's Taj. Because Taj can pop out to the foul line or somewhere around. He can still hit that little jumper.
Yeah, I'm comfortable with Taj down there. What I don't like is, and I got to get this out because the NBA is kind of pushing because that with Giannis being that center type player that can handle the ball. Randall, I guess they say he can play center. That don't mean that center that can handle the ball.
No, I don't know.
I think last year and the past couple of years because of COVID, a lot of these centers been hurt. They're out. There's not many in the league that's that good. So yeah.
Well,
Randall can play center.
Yeah, like, it's the version. Yeah, that's the new version of the small ball.
You put Shaq in this time period. Shaq dominates everybody. I don't care. Matter of fact, let's say it. Dwight Howard and what's the name arguing last night.
Dwight and who?
Dwight and Anthony Davis. Well, you don't know. So,
I ain't see it.
Breaking on Knicks morning coffee. So last night, they getting beat by the Suns. Suns is putting them on them, but they got a good actual center. And the DeAndre Ayton, right? Yeah. I don't know exactly what the case may be, but they got to the bench. They really about to start scuffling on the bench. Dwight Howard and
why? No, I didn't watch that last night.
Ended up losing. That broke up the team's morale, but I think that's the difference from when you got actual centers on the court. Wow.
But that might be the wake up call though for the Lakers. Because remember that same thing happened with LeBron and Wade. when LeBron went to Miami.
But they didn't scuffle.
They had verbal confrontation.
That's different.
Well, I mean, that's what it leads to.
KD and what's his name? Drummond. Not Drummond. What's his name?
On Golden State.
Yeah, on Golden State.
Yeah.
They had verbal confrontation.
Theirs is different though.
Good reason.
Theirs is different though because
missing your assignment on defense. Not because
they wasn't already
put
friends.
Hands on you on the bench.
Yeah, but they wasn't already friends. It's the people when you're friends and you have conflict. Like LeBron and Wade was friends when they had their confrontation. Yeah. And that's when Wade made the decision that even though Miami's my team, I'm taking a step back for the better of the team. So, Dwight, they'll work that out. They'll, I don't think Dwight will let that fail.
I mean, I don't like to see people
They're probably just embarrassed.
It made me feel good about the Knicks.
Yeah, I kind of want to see. Yeah, I kind of want to see that.
It made me feel good that everybody's almost like it's like a family. Yeah,
well, I kind of want to see that. But even getting back to what we talking about with our squad with the players, because Kemba right now, I don't think Kemba's too many times going to give us big points first half of the season. I think he's going to be a slow, steady grind for us that just kind of gets the job done. But I would kind of like to see in that Boston game him be more of a facilitator, take the team under control, and not force it to Randall. And that's where the turnovers came from. If you can't get it to him, don't throw it to him. And it's Randall's job to ask for it. But be the decoy and go another way.
Yeah, but I think that's coming with the coaching because we're not calling people's number, but I can tell.
No, in a way, but he do.
I can tell if Coach say in that huddle, all right, Kemba, put him on skates. That cardiac Kemba that we waiting for.
But he do call the numbers because they was talking about on one of the plays, we probably couldn't hear it, that in the Boston series, Coach was called the play and Randall waved it off, but he made the basket. So, and that happens. But you got to be that type of player when it happens.
He's doing
right. But that's what star players do in every sport. Football.
If we would have lost that Boston series, I'd have let Randall have it because a couple of times he did some mellow moves and he didn't. He came through.
But for some reason, if we'd have lost that game, I wanted to win, but I would for some reason that wasn't going to hurt me.
I was still going to be excited
for whatever the reason. Yeah, because I know now that those little tweaks
is going to do that to you.
Well, Jason, this is another thing.
They all going to do that to you. And Smart is smart. I remember saying this last year when me and you was watching the game. I said, "Do not let this man get hot at the three."
Yeah, he's wide open.
I say that even if he's wide open or not. If for some reason why, it's like when he hit one. He hitting the rest of the clutch time.
But I'm not. See, the thing with that Boston game,
Smart got to go missing.
Randall, would I like to? Yeah, no, because I'm glad they got them like that. Because what the thing I see about the Boston, Randall, you're better than all of them. So the media want to portray Tatum is an excellent player. We know that, but Tatum ain't up there. I don't care how much they try to put him up there. Him and Brown ain't up there. They scoring like that on their team because they take the shots. So Randall, you're more of a star than both of them.
Yeah.
So he showed it. So this is what they say. Well, if Tatum was on, then the Knicks would have had problems. Yeah, but if Tatum was on, Brown wouldn't have been on like that.
Yeah, he wouldn't have
Brown would have went for almost 50.
Yeah.
So that's what it is. Boston, they're a good team, but they ain't up there like that. So that's where Randall. That's where you got to flex your muscle.
And again, it's not them. I know what they're gonna do. It was more so Smart. To me, if he starts,
but that's what Smart do now too. Ever since Kyrie left,
like that, and he starts getting in the team's head, and he's in the game.
Yeah,
I like when he's not scoring. You kind of shut him down.
No, but ever since Kyrie left, Smart been getting the opportunity to take that shot, and he knock it down. But that's the kind of player he is. But it don't translate all into
we should take him
a dominant basketball. I wanted him before. Yeah. When we still had Porzingis,
to steal him later on down the line.
When we still had Porzingis, that's when I wanted him. But now I don't want him as that type of shooter. I wanted him the gritty way he was. The gritty way he was before. And then we talked about, so we go back to Rose and IQ. Both of them are going to be the spark plug type players. You don't want to put that label on Rose for all he's done in this league, but they're going to be like a boost when one of them got it going.
Yeah.
So when one got it going, then we know that they just going to be able to come in there, and that's where Rose will give us the 20 to 25.
Yeah.
But it's not going to be when the game starts, going into that game that we know, okay, Rose is going off for 25 today. There's certain players you can say that against. You can never say Rose is going to go off for 20, 25. But as that course of that game goes, and he feel he got his man and they feeding him, that's where his 20, 25 going to go in at. And then Mitch, once Mitch get his wind and his time and his rhythm down, then that's when we really going to see. Because even, again, in the Boston game, you see him slow to react off the ball help. Yeah, Mitch right away. Normally, he's right away off the ball helping. And sometimes he wasn't even going. He wasn't even moving. But that's going to come because you're out 7 months.
I didn't know if that was just because of his training, because he do look bigger.
Yeah,
so was he just working on that and not speed?
No, it's not even that. He was out 7 months. That's where people get it lost at. You out 7 months. I don't care what you doing.
Now he look like a grown man. Remember I always said that, like he don't look.
Well, age weight. Age weight.
I'm like, every time I see him, like he don't even look big.
Yeah, remember Anthony Davis when they came in like that? Kevin Garnett look like little string beans, but once you get that age weight, and you got broad shoulders that can carry that weight. Yeah, when he get his rhythm and timing down and his wind, look at the kind of player we're gonna have. Now picture him on a pick and roll. I ain't talking about a pick and roll with the alley-oop. I'm talking about a pick and roll now when you can throw him the ball. He's gonna be scary.
Because I know he was mad when Boston kept knocking him down. I know he was like, "This is some."
Yeah, and even even in that Boston series. To me, it was another good sign when we were lapsing on the defense that the mistakes was coming from the new guy. It was coming from Fournier and Walker because they don't know Tibbs' system fully yet as far as being tested. So when they get that down too, Fournier had 2 steals last night. So as they get down Tibbs' system, our turnovers, because we were known last year for barely ever turning the ball over. So now when they get that down, we'll get back down to our 4 to 5 turnovers as opposed to up into the teens. So it's all kind of encouraging signs for the Knicks.
Yeah, Obi Toppin's, I think he's being vocal. You know what I mean? I always see him on, when they go into the bench, he's always talking to somebody. He always, just speaking. So I don't know if he's just responding or he's actually being vocal. I would like to see more of that from RJ, but
yeah,
I know him and RJ was talking a lot too.
Yeah.
So I guess that friendship that they got him, RJ, quickly.
Yeah, from working out together in the summer. But RJ's too is taking on that. Tibbs gave him the assignment of Bullock, of that defensive assignment. And he's taking that to heart because you can see the way, even though he didn't get over all them screens last year, because he still got to learn the craft, but the way he was trying to get over them last night and in the Boston game, you can see that he's mentally into it. So when he really get it down, like, I know they don't want to do that because he's not a Knicks player, but somebody like Gary Payton, bring him in for a little session with some of the guards on how to get over the screen. You know what I mean? Like, not even the tricky things getting over the screen. The real way of recognizing how to ease up on a screen. Because you know it's coming. Anytime a player...
What's the junkyard dog? What's his name?
Jerome Williams? Yeah. Oh, no, it wasn't no screens for him. Didn't nobody want him running into them. He made you pay. That's why he got that name. But another thing, too, another thing I did like was Randall, the way he's looking for Fournier. Like, the way he's doing it. Now, a lot of it was driving, jumping in the air, and then turning, and then just knowing which side of the court he's on. But that's excellent. But also another step forward for us to be where when Randall before he make his move, to know where Fournier is, just to get the eye to look at you and give Fournier the quick shot. Yeah. Even before you have to put the ball on the floor, get his defender to look your way. Because there's certain ways that we still have to make Fournier open. Because we can't do like with Bullock and just wait till the ball swing his way. These got to be concrete calls that he know when he come to the garden, to the gym, these are the shots I'm getting. And let's take advantage of his jump shooting. So, it's just like a whole lot of nice pieces to this team that's going to, that's what's going to take us forward. And in fact, and I'm maybe going to skip I wasn't talking about the last preseason game, but I'll skip that. But I will say this. One thing I would like to see, and this is again with Randall, in the last second shots, and this probably goes on Tibbs, when you got that 12, 15 seconds, I don't think we should waste that 15 seconds ISOing Randall at the top just to dribble and waiting for his move. Now, he made it, mind you, that last preseason game. And he also fumbled it, but he recovered because the defense really wasn't pushed up. And then he faded off to the fadeaway shot, which was on his side of the court. But what I think, to take us to another level, and I know the NBA's one-on-one league right now, is to see Randall or whoever got the ball, even if it's Rose, call the play for them. call whatever your play is, rather, with them having the ball. If the play breaks down, now you got your fadeaway jumper. Or something like on Rose's case, you got your drive and kiss off the glass, whoever's going to be the closer. Yeah. But I don't think we should just waste that and rely on that every single time, because that's going to come back to bite us in the butt. Yeah. What is your, remember when we did have Isaiah Thomas coaching, and he would let Marbury Jordan play sometime where David Lee would get the alley-oop going to the basket? Like those are, and then if it breaks down, okay, then Marbury can shoot the J. Like, but let's use the abilities that we got, where Fournier could be the one in there with the shot. It don't have to be just the random isolation and rely on the fadeaway. We got little plays. If it break down,
and again, I think
just what the stars are for.
Like I said, I think that's just an NBA thing. I think
it is.
Everybody know this is your time to shine. Show them what you got. Get in there, buddy. Yeah. I think that's what it is. A little bit laziness on the coaches, but this is what the people want to see. Let me know why you a star. Here your 23 seconds of shining. And I think that's what coaches probably pretty much doing. I
mean, I can live with that because that's this league we in, but, moving to the next level.
Because now, like Randall, you hit it. Now you can score. But now a team is going to write that down. Like, he can get that ISO. That's my issue.
And he's going right. Yeah. So, right. That defender, I think, was it Tatum? They gave him room. Because even that fumble, somebody else pressuring up on you, they'd have deflected that ball and stole that ball.
G.
What is that?
R.J. Barrett went right. He's a Snoop. He's an all-star now.
Well, my theory I said before. Right now, Master going right. There's some people that never go left, and you just can't stop them. But, all right, so these are the things I'm looking for to start the season for the Knicks. And then one is, cohesion for the team, because like how well and how fast can we gel together, for the sake of the team. And we see in certain instance, we see it look like it's coming together all, and then we'll see where we really just out there and it seems like we a deer in headlights. So, but how fast can we get that together, leading up into the first 10 and between 10 and 20 tell you what kind of team we got. And it's a little difficult with people out, but the majority of our ball handling and shooting is coming from the back court players anyway. But the quicker we could do that, the quicker we could stay afloat. And then the efficiency part of this is, because we brought in all these shooters, but it's not how many shots you take, it's how many shots you make. And last night we shot, 45, 54, or something like that, threes, which is what Coach wants. And I think we made 24, so that ain't bad. That's almost 50%, depending on how many we shot. So that's the kind of stuff. We brought in shooters, but how efficient are our shooters? Yeah, so that again, gelling, adding that to our game, that's going to make the Knicks.
Knicks got so many shooters. Hell, we can shoot.
Hey, leave me open. Leave me open.
Get me open.
And then last two, what I'm looking for, and we all see that already in the two games, is the excitement. Yeah. Like we brought in all these players. We know what our goal is this year, so it's just nice to be able to sit back and have fun. I'll tell you, last night when I was walking home, and I walked past the bar on the corner, and the guy saw my Knicks shirt, ran out, telling me, we up 30. I'm like, well, we up 30. Let me go and watch it. No, come in and look. I said, nah, just come in and look. And I was like, oh my God, damn. Could I have drank my own beer in the bar?
Yeah, I remember back in the day, I remember we had a team that we never dunked. And I used to look at you like, why we even like the Knicks? And you used to tell me, like, listen, it's a Knick house.
It's Knick house. Y'all hear that, right?
Yeah, I was like, yo, we never dunk. I was like getting tired of that. Like, why we never get an easy shot? And then we had a team we never could shoot. And I'm like, yo, what's going on? Why we just can't make the easy play? Now we got all of them, shooting, dunking.
Yeah, and then you see
excitement.
And then you see in the same game, I think it was the Boston game too, the dunk that Obi got, and the same one similar, the one that Mitch got, was the dunk over the top in traffic, where they threw it over the top. Obi was the big one. Mitch's was closer.
Yeah.
And when they threw Mitch's, he was closer to the basket, but it was over the top, like lead them to the basket, regardless that defender is not thinking that. But that's what other teams do.
First of all, Nick's so excited. Randall hit a shot. I forgot I think it was the Boston game. He over here celebrating. I'm like, get your ass back on.
Oh yeah. I remember that. Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, he over here talking to the crowd. I'm like, if you don't get back on defense.
All right. So lastly, we're gonna talk about real quick. Where will the Knicks finish in the Eastern Conference? Right. So
3-4, man.
I know because what's being reported, they're naming all these teams. But as far as with us, we being undervalued with the shooting that we brought in. Because our defense is steady and our defense is set. So for the media to think that we're gonna finish towards the middle, the bottom half, when I say the bit of far as the top 8 to 10 teams, I just like, why the hate? Because even though the other teams got better, we got better also. And the ability that we got to stretch the floor and the efficiency that we just talked about to knock down the shot. Those are the things that cost us in the past.
Besides that shot with Brown, because even last year, teams wasn't just hitting shots in our face. They was probably getting open shots. But how many of those, well, except Trey Young?
Yeah, I mean, you can't do nothing about that.
Trey Young, that you can't do nothing about. They wasn't just pulling up in our face.
But that's to be able to see the thing that killed us in the past was us though.
Yeah.
It's the shots that we would miss timely open shots. Just a regular routine open shot, and we would just miss it. And we'll miss 2, 3, 4 in a row. But the other team will go down and score.
And most of the details, like I said, second chance points, not getting a rebound, other team getting second chance points because we just don't got bigger centers. Back to the center conversation.
Well, before Mitch went out, we got a lot of second chance
Mitch
points.
was there. Remember, I think we was on like a run. So we just can't drive in the paint. Mitch is blocking shots.
Because Mitch is even bigger. He's way bigger than Nerlens.
He's coming along. I think he's still shy. Remember, he went to the bench. He was just like.
Yeah, but I mean well, I think Gibson is out on personal leave.
Yeah.
So I'm sure he must going to be back either next game or the game after. And then Nerlens is coming back. So and then by this time the G League will probably be ready to start, and then Jericho can go down there and then get his rhythm back. But we don't really have to count on him right now because we can still slide Randall in that spot. So
the NBA, I mean ESPN or whoever, they just not counting on the actual team that's in play. I think they just look at the roster. But
even with that, when you say, okay, Miami, okay, you added Lowry, you added PJ Tucker. And then who did Indiana pick up? And then who, like, you adding, these are not sure shot things that you're talking about. So what makes ours different? Because our only problem was shooting. To me, that was our only major problem was being able to knock down open jump shots. Because teams will lag off. And if we can hit those, and now we got guys that can hit those, then I still am just as great as anybody else.
The players that can create their own shot.
Yep.
Got the players that's hungry enough that they'll go get their own shot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we got that over the top players. We got the players that's more fancy.
Yeah.
You know,
look at Milwaukee.
Milwaukee
manhandled the Nets, right? And then turn around and get blown out by Miami. Like, so you come in there with your team and you ready to do what you're supposed to do. There's nobody to totally fear. I didn't totally fear Milwaukee anyway. And now I don't even totally fear Brooklyn as I did before. Because now I'm looking at, okay, KD's going to be KD. As long as James Harden's at the point guard right now, I'm not going to fear them. If they move him to the 2 as an assassin and get another point guard in there, then I might. But right now, I don't fear any team when we're at full strength. Because again, like you said, we're going to keep balls alive with Mitch and Nerlens. Right. We'll get second chance points. We got shooters that can hit wide open shots. And if we can manage to get out and run, even that good game we had the other day, we only had like 15 first fast break points. So we still ain't running yet. But I'd rather do it this way and learn it than just force it and have all these turnovers. But if we can get RJ, even Mitch, and Obi, and if you can get Knox in there, if you can get them guys in the open court, look at that part of our game. So teams are beating each other right now. Do we sit at the top? Because Philly won and lost, the Nets won and lost, Boston lost 2, and Toronto won and lost.
Yeah, we definitely can check
it
out.
So it's only 2-0, but at 2-0 we sit at the top.
Yeah, I'm looking at this right now. Like, I'm not.
Well, that's what we did last year.
Yeah, we in the top 3. I'm saying that. I don't care if it's just 3 games in. We up here.
Well, yeah. I mean, give me the 4 and 5s. I like to have the home court advantage again. But right now, let's stay in that top.
How they look at it
in that conversation.
Increment.
Mm-hmm.
Every 10-game increment. If I look at it's green, it's green.
Yeah.
We're going up.
All right, folks. So Saturday is our new day. Please remember to like, comment, subscribe.
Yes, sir.
Share with a friend. And we'll see
tell a
you
friend.
next Saturday. Peace.
Hey.